Hello everyone, welcome to Mallikarjun channel. This is Mallikarjun. In this today's session, I'm going to go over resume and cover letter writing. So I will share my live resume. It is my resume where I used to apply it for any new positions or any of the new openings. So I used to keep updating my resume every month or every 2 months. Whatever the work or whatever the new activities or whatever the new learnings, and I'll be keep updating into my resume so that at end moment at any time my resume will be ready in case somebody asks, in case if I'm trying to apply for the new position. So I will not be miss out any point. One of the key point is always keep updating your resume regularly, and whenever you do your any new course or new activity, you always try to put it into your resume, and then your resume will be up to date at any point of time. So in this session I'm going to go over my live resume and my cover letter. So these resume and cover letters play a very important role when your name is getting shortlisted for the interview, because if you see at the market, for a single position there will be n number of applications. So among the thousands of resume, to get your resume shortlisted, or HR or recruiter to pick your resume should have a valid your resume should be strong, and you the content of resume and cover letter should be very nice and neat, and it will be so attractive, so that your resume will be get shortlisted, and you will definitely get a interview call. And so I will so far in my career, this all 10 years, I used to follow the same format. It is my own format, I can say, because I only prepared it from the beginning. And this my live resume is evolved with n number of changes, and finally this is the best, I hope, because wherever, like whenever I apply for any of the new positions, most of the times my resume is got shortlisted uh, because of the format what I use, and because of the content what I put into my resume and cover letter, and because of how neat and how attractive it is. So those are the 4 5 important points I'm going to cover it right now. So I'll just quickly open my cover letter. So cover letter, basically it should be one page writing. So everything, whatever the content you will write it, you try to fit it into your single page. If you see here, this is my one page content, and when you print it, when you take a print of this one page content, so it will looks very so nice. Most of the HRs or most of the recruiters, whenever they look at your cover letter, 99% your name is getting shortlisted. So few of the key points I wanted to mention here when you are writing your cover letter. First point is, your cover letter should be within a single page. It should not be more than a single page. And whatever experience or whatever achievement you have, you try to fit it into a single page, and that looks good, and easily people can read it, and they can shortlist your resume. That's the first point. The second point, what I say, always put your names on the top of the cover letter or top of the resume. That is very important, because nobody can look for your name, nobody can search your name. So the moment they open your resume or cover letter, they will get to know who is the candidate. So always try to put your name on the top of the resume or cover letter with the bold letter or highlighting. And that is one of the second key point. And third point is, if you have any achievement certificates, or whatever the achievement you can have certified with Oracle, or their Linux, or whatever your career. So always try to put those logos on the top of your resume or cover letter. You can see here a couple of certificate what I have done. I have kept it here. So if you have done like 20 30 or hundreds of certificate. Don't put everything. So key select selectively, choose which are main important, and then try to put those logos. And that is also one of the catchy and key attracting point for the recruiters. And always put your photocopies on the top of your resume or cover letter, because that also sometimes make recruiters to choose by looking at the candidate profile or picture. That's a third key point I would like to say. And the fourth key point is always try to put all your communication channels, either it may be your blog or your LinkedIn or your Facebook page, or your mobile number or your email address. If you can see here, I mentioned my email and Skype and mobile number, WhatsApp number, and also I mentioned my blog, Twitter, and FB page, and LinkedIn, whatever you have. So always try to put it everything in your cover letter and your resume, because that will convey the message how much effort you are putting, like to create your Facebook page. And the moment if you share your cover letter resume, so HR or recruiters try to open your profile in LinkedIn, and in your Facebook page, or your YouTube channel, or your blog. They will try to open it, and then they will try to somewhat get a good impression in an initial stage. So that is the fourth point I wanted to mention. And the fifth point about the cover letter is, always try to write. There's a typo here. Always try to write. Your entire career. If you can see, my entire 10 years of experience, I written it in a paragraph writings. This entire, like one or two paragraph or three or four paragraphs, you should cover entire your career, whatever you have done so far. If you just read it out, Mallikarjun Ramadurg is an Oracle DBA and executive administration expert, and he has a depth knowledge on EBS, and having more than 10 years of experience. He has got a depth knowledge in database design, build, cloning, and administration, and he has got a good exposure in environment like high availability, data guard, rack, and cloud environment, and data warehousing. So it should be like, it should be a paragraph who can easily read it, and he can easily understand how much exposure I have in my my own field, like database, or EBS, or Exadata, and what are the versions I worked, and which are, what are the positions I have worked as, like. And then so you have to end up with which role you are handling currently. If you see, he is currently leading a team as Exadata lead administrator and infrastructure lead at Wipro Arabia, right? So you have to end up with what is your current organization, like what is your current role, with what all what all areas of expertise you worked. So this is simple writing which says about me. So by looking at this single page writing, so 99%, like 95 to 99%, your resume will be, or your cover letter, your name will be get shortlisted for the interview. As I said, like most of the interview whatever I applied, and most of the opening whatever I submitted my resume, so I always got a call back from HR and recruiters. Hardly one or two times they may reject it because of these the positions or skills mismatch. So this is best I can say so far in my career. So this is about my cover letter. I'm going to share this cover letter in my WhatsApp group. So I hope if you like it, you can use it for your reference, or if you have already created your own format, and try to put some more content, and try to put all these key points whatever I told. Like one will be, it will be single point, single page content, and your name should be bold and visible enough, and your certificates and your photo. And the fourth point is your all communication channel, like all your social media, all your WhatsApp, email, and all this. And the fifth point is all should be writing in a paragraph, and everyone can read it easily as a content, and they can understand. So this is all about the cover letter. I'll quickly cover my resume. Okay, so resume also again same. Resume may go, 3 phase, 4 phase, or 2 phase, whatever, like based upon your experience and based upon your areas of expertise and based upon your number of skills or activity. You can it may go 3 phases, 4 pages. Sometimes it may go to 8 pages, and sometimes it may go to 10 pages. But it is left to individual content. If I have 1 year of 2 years of experience, if I have not done much activities, so I cannot build my resume of 10 pages. So it all depends upon how much work and how much effort you have put it and how much knowledge you have it. So try to mention everything in your resume. So again, some of the key points are like always try to put your name in bold and highlighted and easily visible, or like recruiters or HR, they can easily identify the candidate name. And again, try to put your certificates, logos, and try to put your image, and also try to mention your all social media or point of contacts, all your emails and mobile numbers. And this is the format, like I have done it like based upon multiple iterations. And this is I'm using it from last this is the single resume I'm using it from past, I can 3 to 4 years, because I have done so many changes and finally evolved this resume format, because it contains everything, I can say. So if I go over my entire resume, you will understand. So if these points are common, like your name and certificate logos, your image, and also your social medias and your communication channel, your mobile, WhatsApp number, and email, Skype, and all your blogs, everything you try to mention here. And then try to put your career objective. What is your objective? Why you want to work in DBA field, or why you want to look for new job, or why you want to what are you are going to what is your long term goal? If you see here, like seeking a challenging environment and growth oriented long term position in a DBA domain and infrastructure domain, where I can apply my creative skills and experience towards the organization development as well as my career growth. So this is the word I have made it. And if you have your fancy words or writings, you always try to put it. That is going to be your objective, your career objective. What is your long term goal, and why you want to apply for this position, and what is your idea, what is your intention towards these new positions. So that is about your career objective. And then the next point is professional summary. So this is very important. You always try to put all your professional experience in the first page. If you see here, like these all are my professional summary. So it says about my experience, and where all which all areas I am strong in, and where all I worked. If you see, I have implemented 11G, 12C, 19C rack and data guard environment, and also I have done SSO setup for EBS. And if you see here, I am a specialist in grid infrastructure upgrade and database upgrade. I have done more than 200 plus upgradations for the customers, and a strong experience in Exata patching and Exata system performance specialist. And I'm good at Perl script, shell script, and smart cloning techniques like GDB clone. All your professional summary in this 10 years, whatever you did it, you try to mention it in the first page itself. So that is one of the key points I wanted to mention here. This is about the first page. First page, you should be your certificates, your name, and your social media, or your point of contact, communication method, and your career objective, and the professional summary. Because the first page itself, your recruiters or HR look at your first page, and that will make the first impression is the best impression. So this is about the first page. And the other key point is second page, this education I mentioned here. So it is left to you whether you can mention your education or not. It doesn't matter. So you mention your education, that will be best if you mention it. And technical skills I don't prefer to put it here, but it looks good if you put it. Technical skills, what all skills you have, like RDBMS version 9, 10G, and operating system where all you worked, and key skills, where what are your key skills, Exalta, Rack, Golden Gate, EBS, and what are the tools and utilities you can use, you can mention, like obviously you will be working more tools, but try to mention few of them. And what are the advanced DB management tools you have worked, like OEM, log analytics, data guard, all these various database versions. And data management, what all you work, what are data modeling, whether you worked on data modeling or data quality or informatica, IDQ, everything you try to mention here. And what are the languages, programming languages you know, just mention it. And what are the scripting you know, like shell scripting, Perl scripting, and Python, I'll try to mention here, because this is like a catchy. The moment a technical guy looks into this field, and then he will easily understand how much exposure you have in the current technologies. And the very very important thing is your professional experience. The professional experience should be clear, and they can try to understand how many years of experience you have, and how which all client you worked and which all positions you worked, starting with the latest one, and then it will be in the decreasing order of your experience. If you see here, like if you come at the bottom, I get global solution, when you started, and what is your position, and who are your clients. And then after that, where you worked, I get Oracle India Private Limited, and how many years you worked, and what is your positions, and who are your clients. And XXL, from how many months or how many years you worked, and what is your positions, and and who is your client. And the current positions, like jobs key consultancy, from where until what time you worked, and what is your positions, and who is your clients, right? So this is very very important, I can say. When you mentioning your professional experience, try to put your all experience, whatever you have so far, and different customers, and different clients, and different positions, and from date to till date. By looking at this single tabular column, they will understand how flexible you enough to work on one organization, how many years you worked on single organization, and then how frequently you change your job, and who are your clients. They can easily understand your career exposure, right? So, and then try to mention your individual company or individual organization roles and responsibilities. So I'll start with this JobSkip consultancy, where I worked for Wipro Arabia, Saudi, and the client is Tawni Insurance Company. And first you try to mention what kind of project it is, what is your roles, and what are main activities. Like if you can see here, like Wipro Arabia, like working as an infrastructure lead and Exata lead administration from November 2019 till date. And what are your what are day-to-day activities you are maintaining. You just try to mention few points here, and then you try to give some project details, what you are going to do it for that project. As an infrastructure lead for Tawni Insurance production migration and non-Exata to Exata, giving support on infrastructure and handling Exata systems. Just give a brief description about your project and responsibilities. So this is very important. You just try to give this is a format you try to mention. First mention about your client, and what is your main activities, and little project description, and then your responsibilities. So this is about my current this Tawni Insurance Company. And the second company is XXL. Second last company is XXL. Mention the name, and XXL Bangalore, India. And you mention what is your position, and then how you worked as a technical lead from October 2017 to November 2019. I was leading a team of 9 people, and it's a production EBS apps DBS support, and OBI database administration, and Exata lead administration, and Oracle rack and data guard support. This is like just high level steps you mention, what is your position, and then who is your client, you just try to mention here. And then try to explain about your project details, and you mention your detailed responsibilities in that organization. And similarly, if you go to third company, like Oracle India Private Limited, and worked as a senior Oracle DBA from date to date, and supporting Exata engineering system global clients, and Exata engineering system more than 200 plus Exata customers. And mention the project details, so what is the kind of project you are working, and mention your detailed responsibilities in that project. And similarly, if you go last company, that's the first company, I get global solution, and worked as a senior Oracle DBA from date to date, and then database administrator. What are your major clients, and mention about the detailed responsibilities of in that company. So once you cover all your experience throughout all the companies, and try to mention your challenging implementation, challenging environment, challenging achievement what you did. If you see here, like configuration of manual standby 11G, I missed to mention here 19C database as well, 11G, 12C, and 19C. So okay, in the implementation, try to mention your what are the major activities, challenging activities, and all those things. So if you feel it, like configuration of manual standby database for 11G, 12C, and 19C, implementation of 11G rack of 11203 and 11204, and as well as 19C. So it is not updated here. Like I need to update. I need to do a couple of updates here. That's the two things. Try to put it here. What are your challenging activities? And configuration of physical standby for 11G database, and DR drill, and failover and switchover for Jester Airways, and remote connection client ad hoc. So what are your major activities? Try to mention here your major implementation, and data center migration and build from the scratch. So there are so many activities I have not mentioned here. So, for example, this data center migration, GDB clone, and smart cloning technologies, upgradation, what all upgradations you have done it. So those are like major activities you try to mention here. And then what are the ticketing tools you have used it so far? HP ServiceNow, HP ALM, Moss Support, and Jira and Bitbucket, all the tools you try to mention here. And what are your awards and achievements? You try to mention your awards and achievement. Obviously you will be getting so many awards and achievement in your each organization. Try to mention here all those awards and achievements. And finally you give your your personality, what kind of person you are, like what are your skills and hobbies, try to mention here. And then at the end you try to give your personal details, your date of birth and nationality, and marital status and language noun, and current place and your signature. So this is about uh, my resume. So I'm going to share this resume and cover letter in my WhatsApp group. So always try to use this resume and modify accordingly whatever your areas of expertise, and whatever your experience, and try to use this one. I hope this is a very valid resume, I can say, because most of the interview what I attended, so always I used to get a response from the HR or recruiters. I hope this will be very helpful for you guys. And obviously, if you have your own format, and it is much better than this, obviously go ahead with that, and use it. Try to check it whether it is getting attracted by the recruiters, or if you want some more changes, and you always make it your own format, and then try to use it. And this is about my cover letter and resume. And okay, so one of the important thing about the resume and cover letter, so how you can give the naming convention. Always cover letter should start with cover letter, and resume should start with resume, and followed by your name Mallikarjun, like cover letter, resume, Mallikarjun Ramadurg, underscore, like how many years of experience you have, like 10 years of experience, and what are your current role, exact admin infrastructure lead, exact admin infrastructure lead. Same thing you can try to give, like cover letter, like if your name is Akash, cover letter, cover underscore letter underscore Akash, like 8 years of experience as a a lead database administrator. Resume underscore Akash underscore, like 5 years of experience as an infrastructure lead. Resume underscore Akash underscore 2 years of experience as a senior software engineer, database lead. Whatever you wish, whatever your current position, you try to put it. And that looks good in the single naming convention itself. Most of the recruiters will get to know, like your cover letter or resume followed by your name, and followed by your years of experience, and followed by your current positions, or current positions in organization, or current positions in the DBA. So try to mention that one, and that will be very catchy, and then they can understand it easily. I hope this is pretty informative, guys. This session is going to be pretty informative. If you have any comments or if you have any concerns, you always ping me on my social media or ping me on my YouTube channel. I will revert back. So I'm going to share these two format in my WhatsApp group. If you are, as I said, if you already have a better format, always try to use that, and always try to keep updating your resume regularly, so that your resume will be up to date and not be miss any major points at the end moment. So always try to keep updating your resume. Thank you, guys.